Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Dom and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be showing you how to create this touch-friendly app screen using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Alright, so as we can see here, it's going to work on CSS grid and it's going to be perfect for any sort of project which you have, which has some sort of, application directory, or you got different screens or different panels, whatever it might be. This right here is going to be perfect for you guys, and it's relatively straightforward to create. All right, so that's basically it. So it's also going to be supported on smaller devices. As we can see, it's going to be responsive and of course scaled down to where it needs to go. All right, so the source code for this is going to be linked down below if you want to download and follow along. And we're going to be using a library to achieve the swiping effects, but don't worry, it's a very nice library and it's called Swiper. Okay, so I've used this in the past many times and I find it perfect because it's simple and it allows you to get the job done. All right, so let's go inside this tab right here and begin from scratch to create what I just showed you. Okay, so heading inside the text editor, the first job here is going to be to get Swiper installed on the HTML. All right, so I'll leave a link to this down below, but on this getting started with Swiper page, you want to be using the use Swiper from CDN. Of course, if you guys are experienced and you want to use Node.js or Bundler, you can, but I'm going to be using it through a CDN for today's video. So I'll simply copy this link here for the CSS and paste it inside the head, and also do the same thing for the JavaScript very shortly. Okay, so going back inside here, you can either use regular JavaScript or you can use ES6 modules. So I'm going to be using modules in today's video. So I'll just simply copy this import statement right here. And I'm also going to make sure that I have a type of module on the script here to ensure that, of course, I can actually use the import statement. Okay, so I'll just paste that in right there. Bit of indentation, change these to be double quotes for my own standards and a semicolon, and we're good to go. So we have Swiper installed. We can now move on to the HTML. So when it comes to the HTML, we're going to be using, or we need to use some of the classes which Swiper provides. All right, so Swiper has its own sort of HTML structure, which we need to follow in order to allow it to actually work and give us that swiping action. Okay, so going inside the body here, the first step is going to be to create a new div with a class of Swiper. So this right here is the Swiper class. We're going to also need to use a class of apps, and this here is our own class. So you can call this whatever you like, but make sure you have at least Swiper in your class list. Okay, so this is the main container. Swiper also requires a wrapper. So we'll make a new div here with a class of Swiper-wrapper, and this one right here is just a simple requirement from Swiper to ensure it's going to work. So now, once we're inside the Swiper wrapper, this is where we're going to provide each one of the slides. Okay, so going back inside my example, this right here has 1, 2, and 3 slides. Okay, so we need 3 divs inside that Swiper wrapper. Okay, so going inside here, we can make a new div with a class of Swiper-slide, and for now, I'm going to only have 2. But of course, you guys can have as many as you want here. All right, cool. So we're going to leave it right here and go inside the CSS to continue on, or just to get some of the base styles running for all of this stuff here. Okay, so just as an example, if I place, or if I write slide 1 and slide 2 inside here, I'll save it, go back in the browser and do a refresh, and we get this right here. So as we can see, if I was to swipe it, we get nothing because we need to initialize Swiper. So I might just do that real quickly before going on to the CSS. Okay, so dropping down in the JavaScript here, we're just going to simply say something like this. We'll say new Swiper instance, and here we're going to be passing through the query selector for the container. So we'll simply say .apps inside here, just like this. So we're just saying, look, our class of apps is the main container for Swiper, okay? And that's it. So I'll save this and go back in the browser, and we're going to get this right here. On a refresh, we can see we now have the swiping action working perfectly fine. So now it's going to be a bit about just, expanding the full width and height for the pages and doing a couple more things before moving on to styling up the actual icons and the text and things like that. So going back inside here and heading up inside the CSS, we're going to begin by just removing the default margin on the body to give us no space around those edges. We're going to also target the class of apps here, and we're going to be setting a width of 100 VW and a height of 100 VH for just a 100% of the viewport width and the viewport height, basically just making it the full width and height of the page. I can save this and go back in the browser, and now we can see on a refresh, if I was to start swiping, we can swipe from wherever we want and it's still going to work. Okay, so it's taking up now, or each slide is taking up the full width and height of the visible area or the viewport. All right. We can now drop down here and just begin styling up these slides. Okay, so we're going to be using CSS Grid to give us a grid for our icons or our applications. So dropping down here, we're going to say apps and then targeting every single swiper slide. So remember, a slide is a single panel. So we have two slides or two groups of apps in the current example. All right, so when it comes to each slide, we're going to firstly give it a display of grid. Okay, and now we can say a grid template here, and we're going to be saying basically we can use a 3x4 grid. Okay, so right here we'll say repeat, then say 3, then say min max 0, and then 1 FR. Okay, so this right here is saying simply we're going to want a 3-row grid here, and this min max of 1 FR just means, look, let's make them equal rows, but they're going to allow, or they're not going to expand basically. So this min max here of 0, this is going to be a technique to ensure that the content inside every single cell does not increase past its bounds. Okay. We can now say / and do the exact same thing and just say here 4 columns. So I'll make this a 4 instead for a simple 3x4 grid, giving us 12 apps or 12 icons on the first or any slide actually. So this applies to all the slides. Let's go back in the browser, do a refresh. And now if we inspect the grid here, we can see there are very faint lines. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bit easier to see very shortly, but you know what, let's do that. Let's do that right now. So going back in the CSS, let's apply a gap here of 2.5 VW or 2.5 of the viewport width. Save this back in the browser, and now we can see upon inspecting it, we've got that grid right there. So we have a 3x4 grid. Okay, perfect. So now we've only got space between every single cell. We don't have space or around the edges. So let's go back inside here, add some padding of the same value as the gap, so 2.5 VW. Then lastly, just a box sizing of border box to ensure the padding does not increase the overall width and height of the slide. Let's go back in the browser, do a refresh, and we get this right here. So we're now done with this top level stuff of the slides. We can now move on to actually placing those icons in there and the names and so on. Okay, so when it comes to that, let's go back inside here, and we're going to be writing up some HTML inside every single slide, or these two slides right here. So the HTML for a singular app or icon is going to look like this. It's going to be a div with a class of app, and then inside here we're going to need an image as well as a text, or a div for text. So down here we'll make a new image tag, and I'm just going to be using the placeholder URL to give me an image. So I'll just copy what I had previously, so something like this. Of course, you guys are going to want to use your own app icon or whatever you want to use for your image here. That is the icon. The next element is going to be the actual text for the name of the application or the app. So inside here, we'll just say a class of app-name and say app name number 1. Also, don't forget a class on your image, and I'll just make this app-icon, okay? So we're done with the HTML for a single app. If I save this and go back in the browser, we get this right here. As we can see, there are no restrictions on the width and height of the icon, so it's going to take up too much space. So let's fix that right now. Going back in the CSS, we can target the class of app-icon. So the first step here is going to be a display of block. This is going to eliminate the tiny bit of space underneath the image, as it goes down to the text, okay? We can also give this a width of 100% to ensure that it does not increase more than 100%, as well as a maximum height here of 80%. So the reason for this 80% maximum height, this just means a max height of 80% of the grid cell or the grid item. If I save this and go back in the browser, we can see now on a refresh, if I inspect one of these cells here or this cell, we can see the app name text has 20% remaining height. So 80-20 for the icon and the app name. Unfortunately, you can't really see it here because the image isn't a rectangle or something longer, but it's actually getting, resized down and it's getting squashed. Okay, so a better example might be something like a 500 by 2000 image. Let's save it and refresh. And now we can see the image is skewed, so that's not good. So to fix that, we can simply set an object fit on this to be contained. If I save this and go back and refresh, now the icon isn't going to be skewed. So ideally, you guys are going to have perfectly circle icons and things like that. But if you don't have perfect icons, then definitely make sure you use this object fit to ensure you don't get any skewed images. All right, let's put this back to 500 and move on with the last part of today's video. It's going to be the app name. So targeting the class of app-name, we can give this a text align of center, as well as a font size of 14px and a font family of sans serif. Up to you guys what you want to do with this font size and font family. I find 14px is going to fit nicely on most resolutions and things like that. Also giving this a padding of 3.5%, once again up to you guys, okay? And a color of white, okay? Save this, go back in the browser, and we get this right here. And guys, we're basically done, okay? So this right here is going to support swiping, as we can see, and it's up to you guys to simply, copy these apps and increase them as you wish. So you can have, let's just say you got 8 on the first screen here. We can now make a second slide or use the second slide. Let's just add 2 of them inside here. Go back in the browser, refresh, swipe left, and we have 2 right there. So you guys can add however many amount of, how many apps you want, how many slides you want, and so on. There's one last thing to mention, and that is going to be a text shadow on the app name if you wish. So we can say something like 5 pixels, 5 pixels, 5 pixels, then say RGBA 000 and 0.25 for a 25% opaque text shadow. Refresh, and we probably can't tell at this size, but there's a very subtle shadow behind that application or app name, all right? And also, if you guys want to customize your swiper, there are many different options you can actually pass through. So as we can see, documentation recommends you create a new instance of it and store it in a constant. So from there, you can of course use that object to do more things. I'll let you guys obviously go through the documentation of this, and you can see you can add pagination, you can do looping if you wish. There's many things you can do here. So I'll let you guys have a play with the swiper, but this right here is all you need to create an application screen using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If today's video helped you out, drop a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.